Do you ever feel a strange melancholy or even guilt in moments of intense joy or success, as if happiness were unsustainable or brought? A hidden fear that something bad is about to happen, leaving your heart heavy with the belief that fullness is a trap and the vulnerability of joy too great a risk? Welcome to my vessel of light. If you're here, perhaps your soul feels the unsettling whisper that complete happiness is a prelude to pain. Or perhaps you have poured so much of your boundless energy into protecting yourself from a potential fall, only to find yourself exhausted by constant vigilance and unable to surrender to the lightness of the moment. You're about to embark on a tender, timeless narrative, a story that gently unfolds the sacred truth that joy in its purest form is an inherent right, not a threat. Reminding us that embracing the vulnerability of happiness is the path to a deeper, more lasting fullness. This journey reveals how to transform the fear of joy into a celebration of life, trusting that each ray of sunshine can be enjoyed without the shadow of anxiety. Once upon a time, in a vibrant city that hummed with ambition, lived a woman named Celeste, a brilliant architect whose designs graced the skyline. But whenever a new skyscraper was completed or a rare moment of profound joy settled upon her, an inexplicable anxiety would rise, a cold dread creeping into her spirit, as if the universe demanded an immediate counterbalance to such intense happiness. She would quickly brace herself for an inevitable loss, a disappointment or sudden change that would snatch away her hard-won bliss. She had witnessed and felt the fleeting nature of happiness in her past, seeing moments of pure delight followed by sharp, unexpected sorrow, which led her to a silent, protective conclusion. Joy, especially the most vibrant, was fragile, a precarious state that invited subsequent pain. She felt herself tightening, clenching her heart against the full tide of elation, allowing only a measured contentment, a restrained smile for fear of tempting fate or exposing her vulnerable spirit to a greater fall. She often walked past a small, vibrant community garden tucked between towering buildings, where children played with pure joy amidst the blooming flowers, their laughter echoing freely, their happiness uninhibited. And a silent question formed in her mind. Why could they surrender so fully to happiness, while she, an adult, held back with such self-imposed caution? Her soul yearned for clarity, for a way to experience the fullness of joy without this persistent shadow, without the fear that true happiness would inevitably lead to true heartbreak. This silent search for meaning and her resistance to pure joy led her to observe these children more closely, seeking a forgotten key to unburden delight. The profound emotional turning point, the gentle yet powerful turning point that stirred the depths of Celeste's soul, arrived not from an external sage or mythical spring, but from observing a young street artist, a vibrant muralist named Leo, who painted breathtaking scenes on crumbling city walls, his art a rite of color. And unbridled passion, Leo worked tirelessly, his face often smudged with paint, his clothes worn, yet when he finished a piece, his joy was pure, expansive, and utterly unconcerned with permanence. He would stand back, a wide, genuine smile illuminating his face, sometimes even dancing a little jig, his art destined to fade or be painted over. Yet he poured his entire being into each creation without a hint of holding back, as if the very act of joyful expression was its own reward. This profound observation resonated deeply with Celeste. Leo's joy was unfragile. Because he didn't cling to it, he simply allowed it to flow through him, giving it completely in the moment of creation, then releasing it a stark contrast to her own anxious grip on happiness. She watched him one day as he finished a particularly vibrant. Mural children gathered around him, their faces alight with wonder and Leo. Instead of fretting about its impermanence, simply handed them small brushes and invited them to add their own joyful splashes of color to a corner of the wall, their laughter pure and uninhibited. This was the moment of profound realization. The true source of her pain was not joy itself, but her fear of losing joy, a fear that ironically prevented her from experiencing it fully in the present. A protective armor built against imagined future sorrows, a profound wave of recognition, sharp and poignant, washed over Celeste. For this was an intuitive truth she had always felt but never articulated. The artist's example showed her that joy wasn't something to be tightly held or protected, but like the vibrant colors he used, something meant to flow through her, to be expressed, to be released, allowing new currents of happiness to enter this quiet internal encounter was more than just a revelation. It was a sacred invitation to a profound journey of internal healing, of relearning to trust the ebb and flow of happiness. Itself a silent question emerged from the depths of her soul. Was it truly possible to shed this heavy armor of fear to find our own lightness by simply letting joy be without holding on so tightly? Perhaps this profound moment resonates deeply within your own heart too, dear one. This quiet confrontation with the echoes of joy feared, the gentle ache of fearing the fullness of happiness, the reluctance to fully surrender to bliss. If your spirit echoes with the subtle lament of contained happiness, if you've ever felt that joy is a vulnerability, a precursor to pain, know that you are profoundly not alone in this beautiful, often challenging dance of existence. Your quiet courage is recognized, your boundless love is seen, and your inherent capacity for profound renewal is a sacred gift to the world, a luminous truth that deserves to shine brightly, not just for others, but for your own radiant self, to a beacon of hope in every season of your unfolding journey. In that profound moment, guided by the vibrant example of a street artist's pure expression, a silent truth, clear and radiant as pure sunlight, bloomed within Celeste's heart. A whispered revelation that defied the cruel hand of fear. It was never too late to embrace joy, to find her own lightness in the very act of surrendering to happiness. She understood then, with profound clarity, that the barriers to joy were not external obstacles, but self-imposed clenchings of her own heart, sacred pauses in the grand dance of life. The key, she realized, was not to resist joy, but to honor it, to acknowledge any past lessons it brought, and then to consciously unclench her heart, to open her hands, allowing joy to flow freely through her, trusting its natural current, allowing her spirit to rest in its presence without needing to control its duration. Celeste began her tender journey by creating a ritual of unclenching, a sacred space in her home dedicated to releasing fear. She would hold a single, symbolic, vibrant paint palette or small, smooth, colorful stone, and with each deep breath, visualize releasing the tightness in her chest, the anxiety that accompanied joy, whispering silent intentions over the object as if it carried away her fears. Then she would set it free. Place the palette in a prominent spot as a reminder of joyful release, or drop the stone into a small bowl of water. Watching the ripples expand, she spent her mornings cultivating this inner garden of acceptance, not with hurried efficiency, but with mindful presence, embracing the fullness of the moment, trusting the promise of more joy. this new daily ritual, this profound connection with her authentic self and her own emotional cycles, brought with it an unparalleled sense of peace, a quiet joy that resonated deep within her soul. It wasn't about erasing the past, but about transforming its weight into wisdom, its sorrow into fertile ground for new growth. As the days gracefully unfolded, Celeste felt a palpable lightening of her spirit, as if the invisible burdens she had carried for so long were slowly dissolving, each passing moment bringing her closer to a profound sense of inner freedom. Like mist lifting from the valley, her designs became more fluid, filled with vibrant colors and bold expressions of joy, and her connection to her inner wisdom deepened. Every stroke of her pencil, every architectural line, now a direct conversation with the universe, she began to share her quiet wisdom with other women who carried similar fears regarding joy, teaching them the importance of listening to their own soul's echoes, of honoring their emotions, and of practicing rituals of release and self-compassion. She guided them to their own quiet places, empowering them to become their own guardians of joy, to connect with their inner wisdom and gently embrace their own unfolding. It wasn't just Celeste who transformed. It was the entire community, women finding new lightness, new joy, new freedom in our lives, their spirits radiating a profound sense of peace. Her life became a living testament to the truth that every soul has the capacity to heal not only itself, but also to inspire profound acceptance of life's natural rhythms in others, transforming resistance into a legacy of liberation and light. She was not a distant guide, but a compassionate presence, helping others hear the true, authentic song of their own souls, guiding them to release what no longer served them simply by being. And today, this light, the gentle glow of self-liberation and profound acceptance of life's joy, belongs to you. Your existence doesn't need external validation to feel its immeasurable worth. Your heart doesn't need to cling to fear to find its profound peace. You are a masterpiece, intricately woven, gracefully unfolding with every breath, every moment of release, every act of courageous healing. Embrace your tenderness, honor your empathy, and remember that within you lies an infinite wellspring of grace, waiting patiently to nourish your own soul and those connected to you. You are enough just as you are, a radiant vessel of light destined to bloom beautifully, piece by gentle piece. In your own perfect sacred time, radiating a connection that begins from within and extends through all seasons of your life. If this story touched your heart, if you found a quiet echo of your own journey within this profound tale of joy and liberation, please consider giving this video a like, as it helps us reach more beautiful souls who need this message. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to hear which part of this story resonated most deeply with you. Or perhaps share a moment when embracing joy brought you unexpected peace, for your wisdom enriches our collective vessel. And if you seek a gentle refuge, a space where understanding blossoms and weariness finds solace, come rest with us and subscribe to my Vessel of Light, allowing our shared journey to continue illuminating paths of hope and healing, whispering strength into every sensitive heart.